Ladies and gentlemen, you ever notice how men react when a woman goes silent? Oh, trust me, it shakes us up. See, men are simple. We like to think we're in control, but the moment you stop talking, we start thinking. And when a woman who usually speaks her mind suddenly stops, oh, that's when a man realizes something's off. The moment you stop explaining, stop arguing, stop asking, he notices. See, men can ignore words, but silence is loud. It makes a man pause and think, wait, did I mess up? That silence forces him to reflect on what he's done, and if he values you, he'll start paying attention real quick. Men have a tendency to take words for granted, especially when they're used to hearing them all the time. A woman can repeat herself over and over again, and a man will still think he's got time. He hears the complaints, the frustration, the request, and he assumes she's just talking. He thinks as long as you're still talking, you're still involved, you're still invested, and you're still giving him a chance. But the second you go silent, that's when he knows something's changed. That silence, it's powerful, speaks louder than words ever could. It makes a man uncomfortable because now he's left with his own thoughts. He has to wonder what's going on inside your head. And let me tell you, that mystery that drives a man crazy. He's no longer in control of the situation because he doesn't know where you stand. Before he could predict your reactions, he could brush things off, thinking you'd always come back with more words, more explanations, more attempts to fix things. But now he's forced to pay attention because he realizes he might actually be losing you. A man who cares will feel that silence like an earthquake. He'll start replaying past conversations, thinking back to what he missed, what he didn't take seriously enough. He'll remember the times you tried to tell him something wasn't working, the times you expressed your feelings and he didn't listen. And suddenly all those words he ignored will come rushing back, and he'll wish he had listened when you were still willing to speak. Silence also exposes a man's true nature. Some men, when faced with silence, will panic. They'll come running, trying to fix things, trying to make sure they haven't lost you. But others will do nothing. And that right there tells you everything you need to know. If a man is okay with your silence, if he doesn't reach out, doesn't check in, doesn't try to make things right, that means he was never as invested as you were. Think about it. When someone truly values something, they don't just let it slip away. If a man cares about you, he won't be able to sit in that silence comfortably. He'll want to break it. He'll want to know what's wrong, what he can do to fix it, how he can make things better. Because a man who truly loves you will never be okay with losing you. But here's the hard truth. If a man doesn't react to your silence, if he lets days or even weeks pass without checking in, without making an effort, then he's showing you exactly where you stand in his life. He's revealing without words that you were never as important to him as he was to you. And as painful as that realization may be, it's a blessing in disguise, because now you know. Now you don't have to guess. Now you don't have to waste any more time wondering if he cares. His silence in response to yours has given you the answer. Men are creatures of action. We might not always be great with words, but when we truly care, we show it. And when we're about to lose something we value, we fight for it. So if your silence doesn't make him step up, then he was never going to in the first place. A man who values you will not let silence last for long. He'll feel it. He'll notice it. And he'll do something about it. He'll reach out. He'll try to fix things. He'll want to know what's wrong, because the thought of losing you will be unbearable to him. But if he does nothing, then he's already made his choice. Silence is not about manipulation. It's not a game. It's about self-respect. It's about setting a boundary and seeing who respects it. Because at the end of the day, a man who truly loves and values you will never need you to yell, to beg, to explain 100 times. He'll hear you the first time, and if he didn't, your silence will make sure he listens now. Silence is a test. A man who cares will come to you, ask what's wrong, try to fix it. But if he doesn't, well, there's your answer. A real man won't be comfortable with distance between you two. He'll want to understand, to reconnect, but if he stays distant, that tells you everything you need to know. When a woman who usually expresses herself suddenly goes quiet, a man feels it. At first, he might not react immediately. He might assume you're just upset and that you come around, especially if he's used to you being the one to initiate conversations and fix problems. But as time passes and you don't say anything, the silence starts working on him. He starts feeling the absence of your words, your presence, your emotions. It makes him think about what happened, what led to this point, and whether or not he played a role in it. If a man truly cares, that silence will make him uncomfortable because it represents a shift in the relationship dynamic. Silence forces a man to reflect in a way that words sometimes don't. When a woman is constantly expressing herself, a man can become desensitized to it. He might hear her concerns, but not truly listen. He might assume that as long as she's talking, she's still emotionally invested, and therefore he still has time to figure things out. But silence removes that comfort. It removes the assurance that you'll always be there, always trying, always working to fix things. It creates a void, and that void makes a man start questioning everything. If he values the relationship, he'll take action. He'll reach out, ask what's wrong, try to fix things. He won't be able to sit in the silence for too long because it will feel like losing something important. A man who truly cares about you will not be able to ignore your silence, and he certainly won't be okay with it lasting indefinitely. He will feel compelled to close the gap, to make sure you're okay, to ensure that things don't end this way. His actions will show his true feelings more than any words ever could.
On the other hand, if a man does nothing when you go silent, that speaks volumes. It means he's either indifferent or unwilling to put in the effort. And that realization, though painful, is one of the most valuable things silence can reveal. Because in that moment, you see the truth. You see whether he was truly invested in you or if he was just comfortable with your presence, but never truly valued it. When a man doesn't react to your silence, it shows you where you stand in his life. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's also freeing because now you don't have to guess. You don't have to waste energy trying to get his attention, trying to make him see your worth. His inaction is an answer in itself. It tells you that the effort you've been putting in was one-sided, that you were the one holding the relationship together. And if that's the case, then silence is the best thing you could have ever given yourself. A man who lets silence stretch on without any effort to bridge the gap is a man who was never truly afraid of losing you. And if he's not afraid to lose you, then he never deserved to have you in the first place. A man who values a woman will not risk losing her over pride, ego, or laziness. He will not let silence be the thing that breaks you apart. He will fight for her, reach out, and show through his actions that she means something to him. This is why silence is so powerful. It exposes the truth. It takes away the guessing, the over-explaining, the repeated conversations that never seem to go anywhere. Instead of trying to force a man to see your worth, silence allows him to show you whether he sees it on his own. And if he does, he will move, he will act, he will do whatever it takes to bring you back. But if he doesn't, then you have your answer. A man who truly cares won't wait for you to speak first. He won't assume everything is fine just because you haven't said anything. He will feel the shift and he will do something about it. He will not let silence be the last thing between you. And if he does, then he was never the man you thought he was. And that silence, that's your power, because it gives you the clarity you need to know whether to stay or to walk away. A man who truly values you will never let silence last too long. If he genuinely cares, he will feel the shift, sense the distance, and take action. He won't let pride, stubbornness, or excuses stand in the way of reaching out. He will feel an urgency, a need to close the gap, to restore what's been lost. He will not be able to sit comfortably knowing you are pulling away. His instinct will be to fix things, talk to understand what went wrong. Because to him, the thought of losing you is far worse than the discomfort of a difficult conversation. When a man is faced with silence, it forces him into a position where he has to decide how much he's willing to fight for the relationship. Words can be ignored, arguments can be brushed aside, But silence demands a response. It creates a void that he will either feel the need to fill or allow to grow wider. And that decision tells you everything you need to know about how much you mean to him. If he truly loves you, he won't allow distance to grow between you two without making an effort to bridge it. He won't risk losing you over pride or hesitation. A man who steps up in the face of silence is one who understands your worth. He knows that relationships require effort, that love isn't just about the good moments, but also about working through the hard ones. He will show that he is willing to fight for you, not just when it's easy, but when it's necessary. He won't leave you wondering, questioning, or doubting where you stand with him. His actions will be clear. He will call, he will show up, he will make sure you know that he sees you, hears you, and values you. But not every man will react this way. Some will choose to do nothing. They will wait. They will assume that if enough time passes, things will go back to normal without them having to make an effort. They will tell themselves that if you truly cared, you would be the one to reach out first. These are the men who don't truly value what they have until it's gone. They are comfortable when you are the one doing the work, when you are the one. They do nothing because they were never willing to put in the effort to begin with. Silence is not just about what a man does in response. It's also about what he doesn't do. If he lets time pass without checking in, if he allows the distance to grow, if he makes no attempt to fix what's broken, then he is showing you with absolute clarity that he was never truly afraid of losing you. He is showing you that the relationship only mattered to him when it required no effort on his part. And that realization, while painful, is a gift because it frees you. It gives you the knowledge you need to stop wasting your time on someone who was never willing to fight for you in the first place. A man who lets silence last too long is a man who has already made his choice. He has chosen his pride over the relationship. He has chosen his comfort over communication. He has chosen indifference over effort. And that choice is something you cannot change. You cannot force a man to care. You cannot make him see your worth if he does not already recognize it. And silence? Silence exposes this truth in a way that nothing else can. A man who truly loves you will not risk losing you over a misunderstanding, over unspoken words, over ego. He will not allow silence to stretch on because he knows that silence can turn into distance, can turn into something permanent. He will not gamble with the possibility of losing you. He will act. He will reach out. He will reach out. He will make sure you know without a doubt that he values you enough to fight for what you have. But if he doesn't, if he lets you go, if he does nothing, if he allows silence to become the final word between you, then he was never the right man for you. Because a man who truly cares, who truly loves, will never let silence be the thing that ends what you had. And that silence, that's your answer. That's your power. Because it tells you everything you need to know about where you stand. Silence is not just the absence of words. It is a powerful tool that reveals the truth in relationships. It forces a man to confront his feelings, his priorities, and his willingness to fight for what he values. When a woman goes silent, she is not playing a game. She is setting a boundary. She is stepping back to see if the man she cares about is willing to step forward. And that silence speaks louder than any argument, any repeated conversation, or any plea for attention ever could. A man's reaction to silence tells you everything you need to know. If he truly values you, he will not let silence stretch on for too long. He will not be comfortable with distance between you. He will reach out, try to understand, and make an effort to fix whatever went wrong. He will not let his pride, ego, or fear stand in the way of reconnecting. Because to a man who genuinely cares, losing you is not an option he is willing to consider. On the other hand, if a man does nothing in response to silence, that is a clear answer as well. If he lets days, weeks, or even months pass without trying to make things right, then he has shown you that you were not a priority to him. He was never as invested in the relationship as you were. And while that truth may be painful, it is also liberating. It allows you to stop guessing, stop hoping, and stop waiting for someone who is never going to step up. Silence separates the men who truly love from those who are only there out of convenience. It reveals who is willing to fight for you and who is content with letting you go. It eliminates the confusion, the mixed signals, and the doubts. A man who cares will hear your silence and respond with action. A man who does not will let silence turn into distance and distance into something permanent. Understanding this truth can save you from wasting time on the wrong person. It can protect you from the exhaustion of constantly explaining your worth to someone who refuses to see it. If a man is willing to let silence in what you had, then you have your answer. And that answer is a gift because now you can move forward knowing that you deserve better. You deserve a love that does not require you to beg, to chase, or to constantly remind someone of your value. So let silence do its job. Let it reveal the truth. Let it show you whether he truly cares or if he was only holding on because it was easy. And if his response shows you that he was never truly afraid of losing you, then walk away with your head held high. Because the right man, the one who truly values you, will never let silence be the last thing between you.